Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming today. Today, we're going to be talking about lamps that make a house a home. We appreciate your support and coming and attending with us today. You'll find here shortly how many lamps we have to offer that actually fit inside of your home and also your customer's home. I'm not the only one that's going to be speaking to you today. I actually have three other people here that are actually going to be taking a little bit of part of the 30-minute time frame. Hey, Bob, tell us a little bit more about you. By the way, I don't know if I said, my name is Ben Coyle. Hello.
Hi, Ben, and I'm Bob Henderson, also with the training group. So we are entering fall. I'm sure many of you are experiencing fall weather. So the 70s and 80s are really fun. And so turned the heat on for the first time just a few minutes ago to warm things up a little bit. So thanks everyone for being here. Nicole?
Hi, my name's Nicole, or you can call me Nikki. I am on the lamps team. I'm a product marketing associate on the team. I'm based in Phoenix, so I'm still in the mid to high 90s over here, so it's a little toastier over here. But yeah, I'm excited to be here.
And I am Colleen McLaughlin, marketing manager. You guys know me. I work in the training team alongside Bob and Ben. I handle all the Q&A for these presentations. So if you have any questions, feel free to type it into the question box and we will get back to you at the end of the presentation. Today is also the final Monday in our September $100 Amazon e-gift card giveaway. So you're going to get a follow-up email. You're going to have a survey link. If you fill out that survey and you fill out today's code word, which we're going to do lamps again, so LAMPS, type that in as your code word. That'll count as one entry into the monthly drawing. We will be announcing the winner hopefully on Wednesday, so make sure you fill out those surveys. Make sure the code word is on there too. I know I've said this in the past, but some of you fill out the survey and you don't put the code word, so it doesn't count. We appreciate your feedback, but it doesn't count for the gift card. So
Excellent, thank you. So we actually have quite a few different lamps from a residential standpoint. Now, for the most part, when we're talking about compact lamps, we're talking about the pin-based lamps. Most people don't have compacts in their home, so I'm going to take that guy away. HID replacement lamps, again, most likely this is not a product that is going to sit inside your house, so let's get rid of that guy. And actually, with the 8 different families of products that we have, you're going to have something potentially in your home that sits either a linear, an A-line, decorative, small reflector, a par, or a reflector type lamp. Now, when we look at these lamps, we actually have different groups that these fit into. Oh, wait a minute, there's some HID guys in there. Let's get rid of those guys because we're not going to see those in your homes. So when we see these different lamps that could potentially be put into your house, we have different grades of lamps. We have economy versions of an A19 and a BR lamp. We also have some 80 CRI non-dimmable lamps that are out there on our website. Then once we get into the dim, what that really means is that's an 80 CRI type lamp. And then the premium category really means something that is the 90 CRI, which are typically applicable to use for Title 20 and 24 in California. And as you can see, as we go from the economy up to the premium, we have a whole lot of lamps to choose from, especially for your home. So our objectives today is we're going to spend some time talking about some lamp terms. Like we've got feedback from you guys, is let's teach you a little bit of lighting, let's teach you a little bit about our portfolio, and then let's also show you how it's used in different examples. And so that's my 3 objectives: teach you some lighting, teach you some lamps, and show you and talk about where they could potentially be used in different places. All right, so my lamp nomenclature is going to involve 5 pieces. The first piece, we're going to talk about the bulb shape. The bulb is actually the outer jacket, the outer part. When somebody talks about a light bulb, they're actually talking about the, in the lighting terms like myself, the shape of the bulb on the outside. Next, I'm going to talk about the size, and the size has to do with the actual width of the product, not the length of the product. The next one, we're going to decode what the base means, and then I'm going to spend a little time talking about CCT and then also CRI. So the first one that we have here is we have a bunch of different lamp shapes. We can see here that I've bolded some letters. So we have A and BA and G and BR and PAR. What in the heck do all these things mean? A actually stands for arbitrary. So an A19 stands for arbitrary. BA stands for a bullet with an angled tip, which is different than the bullet, which has a blunt tip. The G, I think people can probably determine that the G probably stands for globe. MR16, for a lot of people, they kind of scratch their head and say, what in the heck is an MR16? It's a multifaceted reflector. R, pretty much self-explanatory, it is for reflector. BR, back in the 90s, there was this thing that happened, Energy Policy Act, and manufacturers were able to get past the Energy Policy Act by adding this little bulbous bulge in the lamp shape, which made it so that it didn't apply, that the Energy Policy Act didn't apply to that lamp. That's where the BR lamp actually came out of, or that BR shape, so the bulbous reflector. Then the last one that we have is PAR, that actually stands for parabolic aluminized reflector. Now that has to do with the halogen or that lamp from a previous year. Obviously with LEDs today, they are not parabolic, they are not aluminized, but they are still considered a reflector. Now what I'm going to do right now is go on to the next piece of the puzzle. Is in that model number that you saw, the A19 or BR20, there's a number there. What does that number refer to? For whatever reason, the way that lighting has done this since the beginning of time is that number refers to 1/8 of an inch. So an A19 is 19/8 of an inch wide, not long. So when we go back to these lamps that I've shown here, these 8 lamps, we have that A19, which is about 2.4 inches wide, the BA11, 1.4, same with the B11. The G16.5 is a little over 2 inches wide. The MR16, 16/8 of an inch, 16 divided by 2, it's exactly 2 inches wide. The R20, 2.5 inches. The 30, 3.8, and then the PAR 38, a little less than 5, right, that we see right there. So that's what that number means for the designation. When you see the very beginning of our model number, what do those letters and those numbers mean? So the next piece that I have for you is one thing that sometimes gets people confused. In our PAR lamps, you might see something that says a PAR L and another one that says a PAR S. L stands for a long neck and S stands for a short neck. These are actually super critical depending upon the downlight that you have or the fixture that you have. Obviously, if you take a long neck and you try to put it into a fixture that has a short neck, that lamp is actually going to extend out of the fixture, or it might not fit in at all. And if you use that short neck in a long type application, the fixture might actually suffocate the lamp because the lamp is trapped or pulled deep inside of that fixture. When we move on to base, the next nomenclature that we have here, all of a sudden we see some duplicates on here. So I'm actually going to remove the duplicates so that we can just focus on the different bases that you might have at your house. GU24 stands for a twist lock base. E12 is also referred to as a candelabra screw base. E26, sometimes that's called an Edison base or a medium screw base. And then the last one that we have there, the GU5.3, which is called pin base. Now there is one lamp that we have that sometimes is used in more outside landscape applications. It was an MR16 line voltage lamp. That MR16 line voltage lamp that sits in a lot of retail establishments. The lamp that we actually have here at RAB uses the base type to describe the actual shape. So this is the only one that breaks the rule that at the very beginning, GU24 is not the size and shape of the bulb. It's actually the designation used for the base type, and that base type is used as the beginning model number. So that's the only one that breaks this rule of what we talked about before. All those other base types that we saw are, the E26, E12 is going to be somewhere in the model number. And you'll be able to see that right there in the model, except for this one. The next piece of the puzzle that I have for you is correlated color temperature. Now, when we look at CCT from a historical standpoint, 2700K is most closely associated with incandescent lamps. 3000K are our halogen lamps, or if we go back in time, our warm white T12s or our 3000K T8s. 3500K is most associated with fluorescent type lamps. used in more commercial type applications. 4000K, your cool white T12s or your 4100K T8s are, that color temperature is most associated with fluorescent. And then your 5000K is associated most closely with your metal halide with that cool color temperature. So from a residential standpoint, the way that we operate here in the United States, most likely you're going to be dealing with a 2700 or a 3000K version, but that's not 100% true. If you go to numerous retail establishments, you'll actually see a variety of 5000K lamps. Usually those are being used for some type of a craft. So needlework or putting puzzles together, some type of a craft light. So there are some 5000K lamps that some people do use in a residential application. So that may be something that you need because your customers are looking for that cooler color temperature. But again, remember, it's typically for a very small application, most likely not going to be used to light an entire home. The last one that I have for you is color rendering index. This is how well do objects look inside of a space. Like I mentioned earlier, we have some products that are 80 CRI, some that are 90, some that are only 80, and some that have 80 and 90 as a choice, others that are only 90. It really depends upon the application inside this space, whether having absolutely awesome color rendering is essential. Typically, but not always, the 90 CRI is going to cost a little bit more than the 80 CRI version. So you need to decide with your customer whether that 90 CRI is, is the application extremely color critical? If so, let's go with the 90 CRI version. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go through a couple different applications and talk about some different lamps that could potentially use. So here we have a dining room, and inside this dining room, I have a couple of bent tip, right? And also some blunt tip ones. We see that we have a couple different wattages. We have a 3 watt and a 5 watt. So Nikki, inside of a dining room, which one of these lamps would you choose?
For something like this, because the fixture is exposing the lamp, I think I would really try to focus on this BA11 with the exposed filament. So this lamp itself, it's 40 watt equivalent. We also have it as an omnidirectional, it's fully dimmable. Exposing the lamp and kind of having that exposed filament is really going to add to the decor of the whole thing. This one's also Energy Star approved and Title 20 approved, or I'm sorry, compliant. So it's approved to be sold in California, has a 90 CRI and a 3-year warranty. So that 90 CRI is going to be great, kind of what you were talking about. It's kind of having that color dependency, really lets those colors spill out. And here's a couple of examples of some dining rooms. So this one you can see has a lot of natural light coming in from the left and has that fixture. That fixture right there, it's probably going to be an E26 base. So I'd probably use an A19, maybe even an A15, depending on the depth of the housing itself. Probably maybe, I mean, you could use an exposed filament to add to that decorum, or a frosted to go along with it. And here on the right side, you have a few different fixtures. You have that chandelier right above, you have those wall sconces, and then you have a little table lamp sitting on the table. This one also is bringing in a lot of natural light. So because those lampshades are there, I would make sure to focus on just having a frosted lens as far as your lamp. It's probably going to be that BA11 lamp again, probably that E12 candelabra small base. If it's not, we also have those BA11 lamps also come in the E26 medium Edison base. So you have some options there. As far as some color correlated temperatures, color correlated temperature. I would definitely focus on some warmer colors on the right as well as the left, because on the left, it being that only fixture that's there, you're going to want some warmer colors in the evenings to kind of wind down, get ready for dinner time. And then we also have a couple other options here. Again, lots of natural light coming in. You've got the chandelier and the wall sconces. So these fixtures actually have more of a diffused cover. So again, I'd use that frosted lens, probably an E12 base on that candelabra, BA11s to be used in there as well. Another 2700 here on the left, just because of the colors that are already existing in the room, you want to maintain that warm feel. On the right side, we have a wall of windows, which again, I'm sure brings in tons of natural light. over that dining room table, you can see those hanging suspended fixtures. Those looks like they're more of kind of a cage-like fixture. So for something like that, we want to add to that decor, using the clear lens filament style bulb gives that traditional style, gives a little bit more aesthetic going on. And then maybe even a little bit of warmness to it. So maybe a 3000 to give a little bit more white, but still have that warm feel kind of winding down time.
So Nikki, when we look at those guys, we started off with the first picture had 3 lamps in it. Then we went to one that was like 12. One on the left, we have 7, and then one on the right. So it's important to have different wattages, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a lot of we have a wide range of wattages available on the lamps, so to kind of be able to be utilized in different applications and different uses as well.
Excellent. So the next one that we have here is a bathroom. Bob and I, a couple months ago, we thought, hey, we need to talk about a bathroom because we're never going to talk about a bathroom. But guess what? We're talking about a bathroom again. A lot of different choices. You're going to see here momentarily. Bathrooms can vary greatly. So we see down here at the bottom some A lamps, some both frosted and clear, and we have a globe one over on the right. So Nikki, in a bathroom, maybe like this one that we have here in the photograph, what lamp would you suggest for this picture that we have right here?
So for this one, you'll notice that the wall sconces that they have that kind of globe-like lens. So to kind of go along with it, I would probably select our G25. This particular one is a 60 watt, but we do have the 40 watt equivalent as well. So again, omnidirectional, fully dimmable, Energy Star approved and Title 20 approved. So eligible to be sold in California. And it has that 90 CRI. So the 90 CRI, like you had previously talked about, Ben, it really focuses, it's more of the bringing the light closer to natural light. So having something like this in the bathroom and having something that has a high CRI will definitely bring out the colors that I want, whether I'm, doing my makeup or, doing any kind of morning activity or whatever it may be. This one also has a 3-year warranty, so it has a good lifespan. This is just an example of some bathrooms. This one is a full vanity, obviously having those globes there. So I would probably use that 40 watt equivalent on these globes just because there's so many of them. I would also probably use the frosted just to kind of diffuse the light a little bit, make it less glary for the user themselves. On the one on the right, we have those wall sconces on either side of the bathroom mirrors. And then it looks like you have some light coming from above the mirrors. You have above the mirrors as well. For something like this, I'd probably use an A19, possibly even a BA11, depending on what the width is of the fixture housing itself. Again, using a frosted lamp because those lenses there are diffused lenses. And then having a nice 2700, maybe even a 3000 color correlated temperature for those lamps just to kind of bring in that warmness. This picture here on the on the left, you have lots of natural light coming in again into that bathroom. You have the fixture right above the mirror with that diffused lens. So maybe throwing some A19s in there, 4000K to kind of bring in all this kind of the space and having all the colors kind of pop a little bit more. And then here on the right, this is clearly more of an intentional look. They have all of their white lights over the shower and then above the sink near the vanity area. It's more of a warmer light. So this is definitely an opportunity to use a clear filament style lamp. And we have something like this. I would consider the ST19, which you'll see later in this presentation, or maybe even an A19 to go in there like that, to have that exposed filament to really kind of add to the entire look and feel of what's been done in here.
Yeah, I like that fixture on the right. It kind of has a little bit of an A shape to it, or like an A shape. And the ST19, I think, would look really great. And like you said, we'll see that in a moment. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to invite Bob on, and I'm actually going to sign off.
Okay, so we're going to continue on with some applications. So the first one we're going to go to is the kitchen. So a lot of different types of conversations and tasks go on in the kitchen. This is where you want really the blend, about equal horizontal and vertical illumination. If we have any shadows, we want to make sure they're in the right places because we really don't want much shadows there. and the right color temperature, probably 2700, maybe 3000 CRI, very good color, rendering 80 or 90 as we've been discussing. And you see in this picture, you have layers of light. So different layers of light, different systems blending in with dimming. So some possibilities would be a BR30, which would typically go in a 4-inch can. A BR40 would be more of a 6-inch, A19. And this is a standard A19. And then you have the decorative. You see the difference. So the decorative A19 is all the way decorative, and light comes all the way down to the bottom, where the standard A19, you see the base there. And then you have the decorative clear. So Nicole, which one would you use here?
For something like this, over the island, kitchen island, where the suspended fixtures are, maybe an A19, and maybe even try to keep more of a warmer color here, because while all of these lights are on right now, those suspended fixtures may only be on during, a meal time or something like that, not necessarily for prep work. So using those lamps as kind of the ambiance lamps would be great. And then in those can lights up in there in the ceiling in the corner, maybe some BR30s or BR40s, depending on what kind of lamps they are, or I'm sorry, what size they are. We also have lots of different decorative lamps and again, most of them come in clear and in frosted. We have different base sizes, again, E12 and E26. Your E26 is going to be your standard base, although the E12s you're probably going to see more in chandeliers, maybe in some smaller sconces. So here is that ST19 lamp that I was talking about. We have that 40 and 60 watt equivalent. And so all of these, again, great options to choose from, and 90 CRI options for all of these. And these are just a few more samples of some different kitchens. So this colonial style kitchen, you have the suspended fixtures right over the island, again, exposing the lamps. So these are probably going to be the BA11 lamps. And here you could do a frosted or a clear filament style lamp. It really kind of depends on the feel that customer's looking for. But you want to make sure that those lamps kind of complement the style of the fixture that you have going on. And then we also have the modern look. So this, again, we have some suspended fixtures over the island. These ones are a little bit different because they have that cone shape reflector. So for something like this, you want maybe an A19 that's an omnidirectional fixture to allow that light to bounce off of that reflector and to put it onto the surface that it's facing. And then again, for those cans, maybe some BR30s, BR40s, depending on the size of the cans. For the color temperature, I would really focus on more of a white light, really kind of go along with that style. Unlike on the left, on the colonial style, we would focus more on warmer colors there to go alongside. And then we have the dramatic style. Here you again have the hanging suspended fixtures over the sink area, probably another omnidirectional A19 lamp, frosted, make sure to get that light kind of bouncing around everywhere. And then you can kind of see up in the corner, you have those can lights again. So BR30s, BR40s, good options there.
Okay, let's move outside to the garage. And in this case, we have a existing 5-year-old T8 fluorescent wraparound fixtures. Not very old, limited hours of use per year. So just need light when you need it. And of course, the light distribution and light level is going to be dependent on what you got going on out there. You may or you may not have some sort of a workbench or whatever. And if you do, then maybe you might want to have a task light. But we have 3 different types of bypass. One is a single-ended. The other one is a double-ended, and the other is a single or double. So which one of these lamps would you retrofit into these existing fixtures?
So for something like this, I would probably use the double-ended bypass lamp. And I would select the double-ended because that's going to be the more common option for the residential applications. So this one actually has an integral driver, so it's not going to need any kind of ballast or external driver. It's all built into the lamp so that it can be wired directly to line voltage. It also has a 220-degree beam angle. So that's really great because if you are using your garage for kind of more task-oriented or projects, it's going to give you a really nice spread of light, and it comes in all kinds of different color temperatures, I believe from 2700 to 5000. DLC approved, 50,000 hours. And it's also NSF certified, which is definitely more common in commercial applications. It just means that it's safe to use in food areas. exposed food areas, 50,000 hours and a 5-year warranty there.
Okay, let's go back inside to the living room, family room. So we want to create different areas of light, and we want to be able to vary the light level and maybe even the height as we see in this picture here. We want to be able to either switch or dim the layers, and certainly in a living room or den, something family room, we want to be able to be comfortable. So you see 4 different types of lamps here as an option. One of them is just a standard, the first one, or we have something new that's a 3-way, and then we have the higher wattage, a lamp shape, and then a decorative. Which one would you use here?
So for something like this, I think I would go with the 3-way A19. This one has different wattage, selectable wattages, anywhere from 40, 60 to 100 watt equivalents. Again, has that frosted lens, E26 base. It's Energy Star approved with a 3-year warranty. So it's a pretty good lamp option to go along with it. We also have a contractor series, which is basically just a 6-pack of lamps in a 60 or 100 watt equivalent options. These also come in 3,000 or 5,000 K and also come along with a warranty. We have the 80 CRI non-dimmable options, 40, 60, 75, and 100 watt equivalents, multiple CCTs available, Energy Star, and a 3-year warranty. We have the 80 CRI dimmable options, again, multiple wattage equivalencies, multiple CCTs, Energy Star, 3-year warranty. And I do also want to highlight these also come at the secondary base as well. They have a GU24 base option. And then we have the 90 CRI dimmable lamps, again, multiple wattage equivalencies. These are also Title 20, so approved for sale in California, also Title 24 compliant, multiple CCTs, Energy Star, and warranties available. And then the 90 CRI decorative, this is a lot of what we've kind of discussed today. So we've touched a little bit on both of these options as well. Multiple wattage equivalencies, multiple CCTs, and a 3-year warranty.
Okay, and last is our hallway. So we want, again, like the kitchen, a horizontal and vertical light to be able to eliminate that cape effect. And of course, you want the fixture associated with the size of the space. And we want to be safe, minimize shadows. And of course, we're going to use the walls to reflect light off of. So you have the A lamp, the BR30, the BR40, and actually a PAR lamp now. So which one would you use here in the hallway?
So for something like this, I'd probably use the BR lamp. So the BR, again, it's going to kind of, depending on the size of your can, 4-inch or 6-inch, you'll select between the BR30 and BR40. Let's assume this is a 4-inch and go with the BR30. Energy Star approved, Title 20, again, approval for sale in California, and Title 24. So it's got a 90 CRI and it's dimmable. So it's a really great option to put in something like your hallway. We also have the contractor series. Again, it comes in a 6-pack. So this is only for the 65 watt equivalent, 2 different color temperatures, and the 3-year warranty. These are also dimmable. Then we also have the 80 CRI dimmable options, multiple, the R20, BR30, and the BR40 options, multiple CCTs, Energy Star, and 3-year warranty. The 90 CRI dimmable, these are the ones that are Title 20 approved for sale in California. We've got the multiple CCTs, Energy Star, and 4-year warranty.
Okay, very, very good. Nice discussion on the different applications. So let's go back and review what Ben covered early on. So our learning objectives, we said we were going to learn a little bit about lamps. We were going to review the lamp portfolio and then examples of how to use these lamps in different applications. So for next week, please join us then. We're going to say goodbye to HID lamps. Talk a little bit about, we got used to those lamps for a number of years, but there's a lot of things that we got rid of. And so we're going to get rid of those then. And so we look forward to that. So thank you very much for attending today. For those of you who have to leave us, we do have a few more things to